How you doing, guys? I'm Sean.
Hi everybody, I'm Lynn. I hope you're having an amazing day today.
Absolutely fantastic day today. Guys, today's video we're going to be talking about a healing crisis, what it is and what we, just like to bring to your attention if you happen to hear that term, or you may actually be going through it and you may not be aware that you're going through it. So we're just going to tell you what a healing crisis is.
Exactly. A lot of people often say, what's a healing crisis? Now, when you actually, before you can heal, your body sometimes has to bring up a lot of things that are stored deep inside us, deep inside the physical and deep inside the mind. Now, you could be going for therapy. Often you have a healing crisis, very often happens after having a treatment. So that would be crystal therapy, or you have Reiki, aromatherapy, even acupuncture, a lot of these common therapies. And then you think, the reason why you're having it is because you want to feel better, which what does happen. But before you can really heal, you have to bring up a lot of things that are stored inside you. So it is quite natural after your treatment, for the first few hours, even up to a couple of days, you can actually feel a little bit worse.
And the reason why we're saying that, we don't like using the term crisis, healing crisis, because automatically
it's not a disaster.
It's like exactly, it's a negative word. It's going to be such a crisis. We don't see it as that way. As Lynn has already said there, when you say, let's say for toxic, you're doing like a crystal therapy, or you're doing some sort of treatment on someone, and what will happen is during that, everything's getting brought, the body's getting brought into balance, so you're actually balancing that vibration. And sometimes, not sometimes, in most occasions, I'm sure you can resonate with this, that when we've gone through a bit of trauma, through like a bad section of road, let's just say, we most times suppress it, and we buy it at the back of our mind. We don't want to touch on it because it's going to make us feel bad, and then we carry on with our life, and before long, a year, 2 years or 3 years has already passed by. When you're going to the therapy, what can sometimes happen is that those emotions that you've trapped and buried, they seem to come to the surface, and you can start feeling a wee bit down. You start saying to yourself, I don't know why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. I'm feeling quite sad. I just started remembering something from my past there and I don't know what it is. Well, why we don't like using the term of crisis? Because we don't see it as a crisis. We say during your therapies or during your treatments, this energy, this negative energy has found it the place to come up, and you're releasing it.
The carpet has been removed, that you've been putting everything under the carpet. Oh, I can't deal with that. And that's been removed, and now it's suddenly all coming up for you to deal with. And the reason why you have to deal with it, because for true healing to occur, these things have to come up again.
Have to come up, and you have to release it, because really what you're doing is you're walking about, even though you're going through your day-to-day business, thinking that you've got everything sorted because you're not thinking about it. In reality, that's still weighing you down, that's still there. There may be triggers will be coming up, and unless you really address issues that have put us all into a bad negative situation, unless you actually truly address it, then you're just still walking about with that added baggage. Now, you don't have to be going to a therapist for this to surface. Those who use your followings are into crystals and things like that. You could actually, that could happen to you also. You could start working with a new crystal, and you can probably bring it all up.
Yeah.
So if you happen to be feeling these experiences, you're starting to feel quite down and quite negative, and you're starting to have these negative thoughts of things in the past, don't necessarily rule it out and just turn around and say, no, it's a bad thing. We like to think that, and it's happened to us, it's happened to many. We've had a lot of, clients who come in, and they come in laughing, and even afterwards they feel a wee bit teary, and they've said, they thought about something during the therapy. They contact us in the next therapy, they come to us, and they're actually so upbeat. They said, you're not going to believe it, I release so much energy.
They often have like a crying fit and think, oh my gosh, and then they wake up, they feel this huge relief the next day. And sometimes it can happen a few days later, and with a healing crisis, it all depends on the individual. By the way, some people have treatments, therapies, and work with crystals and Reiki and everything, and they don't get any healing crisis at all. Some people don't think if you're going for treatment that you're necessarily going to have a healing crisis, because it doesn't happen with everybody. But the reason why we wanted to make this video is to make you aware that it does happen quite a lot. And if you often hear that term, a healing crisis, don't let it frighten you, because it is really, it's so necessary for the body to heal. And you could be getting it with anything. As Sean said, very common when you buy new crystals. It doesn't mean that the crystal is necessarily wrong for you, as long as you've thoroughly cleansed it inside and out. It's not holding negative energy. This is working on you to bring emotions up to the surface.
So what would you do if you start to experience this and you start to feel like a healing crisis? Well, what we would say, for everybody to do, irrespective if it's about healing crisis or not, is start to observe your life, start to observe your body, start to observe your emotions. And the more you start to work with yourself and observing how you're feeling, looking for triggers, and you start to say, you know what, I'm feeling down today, start keeping a wee journal and start keeping a record of these waves of emotions and what things have come up. Even if they don't sort of make sense, just write everything down, keep a track of it. So if you start to feel these emotions, you start to think of the triggers of things from the past after you're working with crystals or a therapist, what we would say to you to do is just take it as a blessing. Just turn around and say, well, do you know what? My higher self has actually said that I, in this physical sense, I'm in a strong enough position to handle this. And it's going to go through you. You're releasing it, you're letting it go with love and light. And once you get that away from you, I guarantee you guys, you'll feel so much lighter. You will love not only yourself, you'll love the world around you, and you'll realise that you had this baggage within you that was weighing you down. It's through the therapy, through this healing crisis. I'm going to have to find out a better name for that.
Yeah, because
and
when
when
you're going through that, just think how much amazing you're going to feel after it.
Really?
A lot of time we find with the healing process, it's emotional symptoms that occur, but you can get a lot of physical as well. Sometimes rashes will start to come up for a few hours after. Or the most common one is frequent urination. You'll be running to the toilet a lot more, even though you haven't been drinking any more fluids. Again, it's all part of the cleansing process. So that's why I wanted to make this video, just to make you aware of that, because we get asked a lot about what's this healing crisis and why am I feeling so bad? I've just had a Reiki treatment. Not necessarily by us, but people all around the world will contact us and say, you know, I thought Reiki was supposed to make me feel better, but I had the treatment, a lovely relaxing treatment, but now I've been really sad the past few hours after it. And I said, that's natural, the healing. And then they've contacted us a few days later and said, you know, they feel the best they've felt in a long time. So these have to be released, so it's all positive.
No, but I would not guess, and use burst your own pimples or anything like that. But if you can imagine in a similar context, when you bring something to the
coming
surface,
to a head, that expression.
Comes to the head, sadly you have to have that wee bit of extra pain, and the pimple gets burst, and then you have a release of energy, and then it heals. But until
I like that. It's a good way of putting it. That's a really good way of putting it. You know, just think of it as one big ugly spot that's going to be burst soon. Coming to a big head.
Guys, there you go. Hope you enjoyed that video. And don't be panicking if you happen to see it, of course. Just, you know, welcome it and say, you know what, I'm strong enough now to release this, and it's releasing.
Let it go with love and light.
Love and light. Guys, there you go. Listen, send you love from Ireland as always. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Links are down below. You could follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. We've also put the links down below to our ebook on how to become intuitively awake. The book itself is an ebook and it's only €5. And basically what it's going to do is going to help you to reconnect to your higher self, your true self, your spiritual self. And as I say, we'll put the links down below. You can check out our other meditation channel, Dreaming of Avalon Meditation.
Absolutely.
And is there anything more?
And all about crystals. You mentioned about crystals as well. Our other channel, all these channels.
What a channel.
Put all the links down below anyway, guys.
There you go, guys. Listen, send you love from Ireland, and to say thanks again for watching.
Send you loads of love and loads of happiness from Ireland as always. And until our next video, guys. Bye, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Now go and bust some pimples. Ew.